Hey, it's me again, and this is my video response for the reading for week 9. This reading was really interesting. I didn't know quite what to think of it while I was reading it, and I got definitely kind of lost along the way. I caught on very early that it was obviously fictional, and it got to that point at the end because to me, it didn't. To me, it just doesn't seem like it would make sense, like that it would actually work to replace someone's neurons with like radio transmitters, mainly because I don't think that we have the surgical advancement to be able to put a radio transmitter at every single connection with the neurons. I just feel like it just doesn't seem plausible to me, I guess. But one main thing that I kind of got from it, or like that inspired me to talk about, was how towards the end he talked about when they came up with the computer programmed brain that they made by synchronizing his brain with himself or whatever. And it made me think of something we had talked about in evolution with our biological philosophy debates. And that was the concept of like what makes something human, and like when would like artificial intelligence, and can we consider that, like, could a robot be human? And that definitely made me think of like if they did come up with something like that, like I feel like people who unfortunately had an incident and they had to have a transplanted brain, I could see there being like a social stigma on those people because their brain isn't real. And so it's like I could see a stigma in the sense that maybe religiously it's like, oh, they're no longer human, they no longer have a soul, their brain is just a computer. Because it seems to be that as a majority is that people wouldn't ever consider a robot to be human, and that's mainly outbred from like a religious tradition in the sense that like God created man and man created robots, so like robots couldn't possibly be human. And so I feel like artificial brains would fall under that category and would be a huge debate when if it ever becomes a thing. But I still, like I said before, I don't see that really being a plausible thing. But I mean, at the same time, I say that, and people who've had hemispherectomies, they can still learn to function, and yes, they still have half a brain, but they're still missing that other half. So if like someone can have half their brain cut off and still be fine, if we could work out a way to make radio transmitters that small and radio transmitters that could transmit that far to where that person could function without having to tote their brain around in the far distant future, who knows? Science has gotten crazy. But I mean, overall, this was a cool article to read and trying to wrap my head around it. But that's what I have. So thank you.